If you've ever scrolled through endless Thai GL series on YouTube, wondering which ones are actually worth your time, you're not alone. With new shows dropping every month, it's hard to tell if a high rating means masterpiece, or just hype from a passionate fanbase of a few hundred voters. So let's clear that up right now. IMDb, short for Internet Movie Database, is one of the most trusted rating platforms in the world, where real viewers from every country cast their votes. Generally, anything above 7.0 is considered solid. But when a show hits 8.0 or higher, that's when you know it's resonating far beyond its home country. For this list, we only included fully completed Thai GL dramas, no ongoing seasons, no mid-release hype. And we locked the data to October 2025, ensuring every score reflects a mature, global audience consensus, not just early excitement. These 10 series didn't just get high ratings. They earned them. Through powerful storytelling, unforgettable chemistry, and emotional depth that crossed borders. Now, let's count down the top 10 highest-rated Thai GL dramas on IMDb right now, and for real. At first glance, 23.5 might seem like just another high school romance, but what unfolds is a delicate dance between truth and disguise, where every message carries the weight of a secret too heavy to confess. Adapted from Blue's novel 23.5 When the Earth is Spinning Around, this GMMTV production landed on Netflix with quiet confidence, quickly winning over global viewers not through grand gestures, but through the raw vulnerability of its lead, Ongsa. Played by Milk, Ongsa isn't your typical bold romantic lead. She's shy, observant, and hopelessly smitten the moment she locks eyes with Sun, the effortlessly popular girl who seems to light up every room she enters. The twist? Ongsa never introduces herself as Ongsa. Instead, she creates an Instagram account under the name Earth, a masculine-sounding alias that leads Sun to believe she's texting a boy. What starts as a harmless lie to get closer spirals into something far more complicated: late-night confessions, growing emotional intimacy, and the constant fear that one wrong word could shatter everything. Love, who plays Sun, brings a warmth and sincerity that makes you root for her even as she unknowingly falls for someone she thinks is someone else. It's this tension, the ache of being loved for a version of yourself that isn't real, that gives 23.5 its emotional spine. And while the premise might sound like a classic case of mistaken identity, the series treats it with surprising depth, exploring how fear can shape the way we present ourselves to the people we care about most. It's not just about a fake name, it's about the courage it takes to say, "This is who I really am." With its strong performances, relatable insecurities, and a story that never leans into melodrama for cheap effect, 23.5 earned its 8.0 on IMDb the honest way, by making viewers feel seen. Coming in at number 9, we step out of the classroom and into a world where justice is messy, trust is hard-won, and the line between professional duty and personal connection blurs in the most unexpected way. Where 23.5 lives in the quiet tension of teenage secrets, Petrichor plunges us into a world where truth isn't hidden behind a screen, it's buried in bloodstains, fingerprints, and the silent testimony of the dead. Adapted from the web novel Petrichor Rest in the Rain by the writing duo 16/7, this gripping Thai GL series swaps school hallways for crime scenes, pairing a rookie police lieutenant with a forensic physician whose calm precision masks a deep commitment to justice. Produced by Miss Grand and TV Thunder, and streaming on iQIYI, Petrichor doesn't just tell a love story, it builds one in the spaces between evidence bags and autopsy reports. Lieutenant Tull, played by Engfa, enters the criminal investigation department full of ideals but quickly collides with a system that favors power over truth. Her first real test comes in the form of Dr. Sharan, brilliant, composed, and portrayed with quiet intensity by Charlotte, whose scientific approach initially clashes with Tull's instinct-driven methods. Yet as they sift through clues side by side, their professional friction gives way to something far more powerful: mutual respect. In a society that often looks away from the vulnerable, these two women choose, again and again, to look closer, to speak for those who can no longer speak for themselves. What makes Petrichor resonate so deeply isn't just its procedural backbone, but how it frames love as an act of courage. Every time Tull and Sharan stand together against corruption or indifference, their bond grows, not through grand declarations, but through shared silence, a steadying glance, or the simple act of refusing to walk away. It's this quiet solidarity, rooted in purpose and integrity, that earned Petrichor its 8.1 on IMDb. And it's exactly this blend of heart and grit that sets the stage for our next story, one where love isn't just challenged by society, but by time itself. If Petrichor showed us love forged in the heat of duty, Blank reveals what happens when time and societal rules try to erase it completely. Adapted from Chow Planois' novel and brought to life by 9 Star Studios, this 2-season Thai GL series became a global phenomenon, not just for its emotional depth, but for how it turned a controversial premise into a story of healing and self-worth. Starring Faye Pariah as Kun Nuing and Yoko Aspra as Anuing, Blank doesn't shy away from the weight of its central conflict, a 16-year age gap, family expectations, and the quiet ache of loving someone in a world that keeps telling you not to. Kun Nuing grew up under her grandmother's rigid control, taught that she was never quite enough, never worthy of real love. Then Anuing walks in, radiant, full of light, but carrying a sadness she hides behind her smile. Their connection is instant, electric, and terrifying, because Nuing has never been allowed to want something this badly. What unfolds isn't just a romance, but a slow unraveling of years of self-doubt, as Nuing learns, for the first time, that she deserves to be chosen. And while the original novel faced backlash over Anuing's age, the series wisely adjusted her character to be 20, allowing the story to breathe without distraction, and helping it soar past 350 million views on YouTube. At its core, Blank is about the space between who we are told to be and who we truly are. It's about the courage to fill that blank page with your own truth, even when everyone around you expects a different story. That honesty, raw, unflinching, yet tender, is why it earned an 8.2 on IMDb and why it lingers long after the final scene fades. But if Blank is about love across time and expectation, the next story on our list takes that tension even further, into the high-stakes world of corporate rivalry, hidden longing, and a secret that's been burning for years. While Blank explored love shaped by silence and self-doubt, The Secret of Us dives into a different kind of quiet, the kind that lingers after heartbreak, wrapped in hospital scrubs and professional composure. Adapted from the web novel Jai Sun Rak by Me Nam and produced by 3plus, this deeply human Thai GL series centers on Dr. Falada, known to her patients as the Angel Doctor, whose gentle hands heal bodies but whose heart remains locked away. Played by Lingling, Falada carries invisible scars from a past relationship that ended in betrayal, leaving her convinced that love is a risk she can no longer afford. Everything changes when Ern, her ex, portrayed with magnetic warmth by ORM, re-enters her life as the brand ambassador for the hospital where Falada works. This means Ern is now a frequent presence in the halls, not through posters, but through real, repeated encounters, each one loaded with unspoken history. She apologizes, she tries to reconnect, she shows up with quiet persistence. But Falada, for most of the series, keeps her at arm's length, retreating into a cold, protective shell that shields her from feeling that pain all over again. What makes The Secret of Us so compelling isn't just the second chance romance, it's how honestly it portrays the messy, non-linear process of forgiveness. Rebuilding trust isn't about dramatic confessions, it's in the way someone keeps showing up even when you push them away, and in the slow, reluctant thaw of a heart that's been frozen by fear. That emotional authenticity resonated deeply with viewers worldwide, earning the series a well-deserved 8.3 on IMDb. And if The Secret of Us is about facing a love you once lost, our next story is about realizing you loved someone only after you let her go. If The Secret of Us is about confronting a love you knew you lost, Affair is about the haunting realization that you never truly understood your own heart until it was too late. Adapted from Chow Planois' novel and produced by Change 2561, this emotionally layered Thai GL series stars Sonia as Siang Flang and Luk Hee as Wan, a pairing so magnetic it captivated global audiences from the very first scene. Set against a backdrop of unspoken class divides, Affair doesn't rush into romance, it lingers in the quiet tension of what's felt but never said. Flang and Wan grew up under the same roof, yet in entirely different worlds. Flang, the daughter of the house, Wan, the daughter of the family's longtime employee. Their bond was deep, intimate, but when Wan gently reminds Flang that she'll have to marry someday, something shifts. Flang, suddenly overwhelmed by unfamiliar feelings she can't name, tries to make sense of her confusion the only way she knows how, by searching for a good man for Wan. It's not pure generosity, it's a desperate attempt to normalize what feels dangerously unorthodox, to silence the voice inside her that's beginning to whisper, "What if I'm the one who loves her?" But life doesn't wait for clarity. After Flank's family collapses in a sudden business failure, she vanishes without explanation, leaving behind only a love letter that finally confesses everything. Years later, they meet again, only to find one engaged to someone else. Affair doesn't offer easy resolutions, instead, it sits with the ache of timing, the weight of silence, and the bittersweet truth that sometimes, the deepest love stories are the ones we almost didn't recognize in time. That emotional honesty, raw, restrained, and deeply human, is why it earned its 8.4 on IMDb. And while Affair lingers in the aftermath of missed chances, our next story strips love down to its most fragile form, quiet, unspoken, and hidden behind the mask of sisterly loyalty. While Affair ached with the weight of love confessed too late, US breaks your heart with something even quieter, love that's never spoken at all. This tender coming-of-age Thai GL miniseries, based on a novel by Chow Planoe and produced by GMMTV, proves that you don't need grand gestures or dramatic confrontations to tell a story that lingers for weeks. With just a few episodes, US captures the suffocating beauty of unrequited feelings, where every glance, every forced smile, and every silent "I'm fine" carries the weight of 1,000 unsaid words. 19-year-old Dokrak is adrift, taking a gap year after high school and working part-time at a coffee shop tucked inside an art gallery called Art NS. That's where she often meets Pam, a 22-year-old dentistry student who studies there daily, calm, focused, and utterly unaware of the storm she's stirring in Dokrak's chest. But just as Dokrak begins to imagine a future she can't quite name, her older brother Kawi confesses he's fallen for Pam too. Out of love and loyalty, Dokrak agrees to help him win her heart, burying her own feelings so deep she almost convinces herself they don't exist. What unfolds is a masterclass in emotional restraint. As Pam and Kawi start dating, Dokrak becomes the perfect supportive sister, laughing at their stories, celebrating their milestones, all while watching the person she loves slip further out of reach. The pain isn't loud or theatrical, it's in the everyday choice to put someone else's happiness before your own, even when it costs you everything. That raw, understated honesty, told in just enough time to feel every heartbeat of its story, is why US earned an 8.4 on IMDb. And it's this same theme of hidden identity and quiet longing that echoes even more intensely in our next story, one where love isn't just concealed, it's mistaken for something else entirely. If US hid love behind loyalty, Harmony's Secret disguises it behind boardrooms, billion-dollar deals, and the sharp edge of corporate rivalry. Adapted from Saranista's novel and streaming on iQIYI, this high-stakes Thai GL drama brings together Sonia and Lukmhi, the same beloved pair from Affair, but this time, their chemistry crackles not in quiet longing, but in power plays, strategic glances, and the dangerous thrill of getting close to someone you're supposed to outmaneuver. With an 8.6 on IMDb, Harmony's Secret proves that when ambition and desire collide, the fallout can be as devastating as it is intoxicating. Muika, the confident heiress of Thailand's superior group, has always played to win, until she loses a school project competition to Iwaran, the poised heir of the rival Oriana group. That sting never faded. Years later, both women now lead their family empires, and when they're pitted against each other for the multi-billion-dollar Greater Duty-Free concession, old rivalries ignite. But business forces them into unexpected proximity, late-night meetings and whispered conversations in hotel hallways. For Muika, every moment with AI is a calculated move to uncover secrets and secure victory. But for AI, it's something far more vulnerable, the chance to finally close the distance to the woman she secretly loved since the day they first met. What makes Harmony's Secret so compelling isn't just the glamour or the tension, it's how it frames love as both a weapon and a wound. In a world where every gesture could be a trap and every kindness a tactic, trust becomes the ultimate risk. And yet, beneath the designer suits and boardroom bluffs, two women are slowly revealing their truest selves, not through grand confessions, but through the quiet moments when the masks slip. That delicate balance of strategy and sincerity is why Harmony's Secret earned its place among the highest-rated Thai GL dramas on IMDb. But if this story turns rivalry into romance, the next one on our list transforms grief into something even more unexpected, where a promise to a sister becomes the doorway to a love you never saw coming. While Harmony's Secret wrapped love in strategy and rivalry, Pluto wraps it in grief, guilt, and the unbearable weight of a promise made in the dark. Based on another powerful novel by Chow Planoe, the same voice behind Gap and Blank, and produced by GMMTV, this deeply moving Thai GL drama stars Nam Tan as Aaywan and Film as May, two women whose lives collide not by chance, but by obligation. With an 8.6 on IMDb, Pluto doesn't just tell a love story, it dissects the fragile boundary between duty and desire, and asks, what happens when the person you're sent to push away becomes the only one who truly sees you? Twin sisters Aayun and Abum have always lived in each other's shadows, but in opposite directions. Abum is radiant, beloved, and newly married. Aayun is quiet, overlooked, and used to fading into the background. On Abum's wedding night, she makes a desperate request, end my affair with May. Before Aayun can even process the ask, tragedy strikes. Abum falls into a coma after a sudden accident. Now, burdened by guilt and loyalty, Aayun sets out to find May, determined to fulfill her sister's last known wish. But nothing prepares her for who May really is, a blind woman, gentle yet fiercely independent, whose world is built on sound, touch, and truth. What begins as a reluctant mission quickly unravels into something far more dangerous: vulnerability. As Aayun spends more time with May, she's forced to confront not only her sister's secrets, but her own loneliness, her invisibility, and the terrifying possibility that she might be falling for the one person she was sent to push away. Pluto earns its place among the highest-rated Thai GL dramas not through spectacle, but through the quiet intensity of human connection, where every glance, every hesitation, and every unspoken truth carries the weight of 1,000 words. And if Pluto shows us love born from loss, the next story on our list redefined an entire genre, not just in Thailand, but around the world. If Pluto carved its legacy through emotional depth, Gap the series shattered ceilings. It wasn't just another Thai GL drama. It was the first to air nationwide on Thailand's Channel 3, bringing sapphic love into living rooms across the country while simultaneously exploding on YouTube for a global audience hungry for authentic representation. Based on Chow Planoy's beloved novel and webcomic, and produced by Idol Factory, this groundbreaking series launched Freen Sorocha and Becky Armstrong into international stardom, not through fanfare, but through the quiet power of a story that felt both personal and revolutionary. At its heart, Gap is a tale of admiration turned into something far more complex. As a child, Mon was saved by Sam during a moment of crisis, an act of kindness that planted a seed of lifelong devotion. Years later, Mon lands a job working directly under Sam, now a poised, seemingly untouchable executive. But the woman she meets is distant, guarded, and shaped by the weight of class divides and an 8-year age gap that feels like a chasm. What unfolds isn't a whirlwind romance, but a slow, patient journey, where respect is earned, walls are dismantled brick by brick, and love grows not in grand declarations, but in the space between two people learning to see each other as equals. With episodes stretching beyond an hour, Gap the series never rushes. It lingers in glances across office desks, in shared meals after long days, in the courage it takes to reach across social boundaries and say, I'm here, not as your admirer, but as myself. That commitment to emotional realism, paired with Freen and Becky's undeniable chemistry, made Gap more than a hit, it became a cultural milestone. And yet, even this landmark series had to make way for something even more ambitious. Because coming in at number 1 is a story that didn't just capture hearts, it carried the weight of history, heritage, and a love that defied an entire era. At the very top of the list, holding the highest IMDb score of any Thai GL drama at an extraordinary 8.8, stands The Loyal Pin, a story not just of love, but of legacy. Based on Mon Ma's evocative novel and brought to life by Idol Factory, this period drama transports us to 1950s Thailand, where elegance masks constraint, duty overrides desire, and every gesture carries the weight of centuries of tradition. Starring Freen Sorocha and Becky Armstrong in their 4th on-screen pairing, the series reunites the beloved Freen-Becky duo not as modern professionals, but as two women bound by childhood intimacy and torn apart by a society that refuses to let them choose their own fate. Lady Pin, graceful, composed, and raised to uphold her family's honor, finds her world upended when Princess Inlafat returns from studying abroad, full of bold ideas and unwavering affection. Their bond, forged in youth, reignites instantly. But Annan arrives too late. Pin is already trapped in an arranged marriage, her future sealed by expectations she never agreed to. What follows isn't a rebellion shouted from rooftops, but a resistance lived in stolen moments, a hand held a second too long, a letter hidden in a sleeve, a look that says everything words cannot. Their love isn't loud, it's resilient. Not reckless, it's resolute. And this is where The Loyal Pin transcends entertainment. In February 2024, the Thai Ministry of Commerce officially partnered with Idol Factory to promote the series as a vehicle for sharing Thai culture globally, proving that this story resonated far beyond romance. It became a symbol of loyalty not just between lovers, but to one's truth in the face of erasure. That rare blend of historical authenticity, emotional precision, and cultural significance is why the loyal pin sits alone at the summit. 10 stories. 10 windows into love that defies expectation, convention, and sometimes, time itself. And if even one of them made you feel seen, then this list has done its job. So, what's your number one? Was it the historical weight of the loyal pin? The quiet ache of US? Or maybe the corporate tension of Harmony Secret pulled you in? Here's the thing, these 10 Thai GL dramas didn't just earn high scores. They created spaces where millions of viewers, maybe even you, saw their own hopes, fears, and unspoken feelings reflected on screen for the first time. And in a world that still tries to shrink queer stories, that kind of visibility isn't just entertainment, it's resistance. But this list only matters if it sparks conversation. So don't just scroll away. Drop a comment below, tell me which series wrecked you, which one healed you, or which one you're adding to your watch list tonight. Because your voice? It's part of this story too. And if you're serious about never missing a recommendation like this again, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We dive deep so you don't have to guess what's worth your time. Until next time, keep watching, keep feeling, and never stop believing that your story deserves to be told.